governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to The Edge for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. It is just 3 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 465-1977 or 1903, or our mobile at 662-8674. Those are the numbers you call to participate in the conversation for today. We are also live via social media, our Facebook and YouTube channel pages, and we're also on Channel 5, that is ZIZ TV. Let me greet those of you who are tuned in from other parts of the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join me on today's edition of The Edge. I want to send out birthday greetings to those of you who are celebrating today or during the course of the week, and congratulate you on your milestone. I also would like to remember families who are mourning the loss of a loved one, and I pray that you find comfort during this difficult time. You are listening to The Edge, and we're going to get into our conversation for today. Before I go any further, however, I have an important notice from the St. Kitts Nevis Angola National Bank Limited, dated Tuesday, 1st July 2025. And it reads, the St. Kitts Nevis Angola National Bank advises that we are currently experiencing a delay in completing overnight system processing. As a result, services are limited while our teams work diligently to resolve the issue and restore full functionality. We apologize for any inconvenience caused and appreciate your patience and understanding. Further updates will be provided in due course. And this is signed by the bank's management. And so for those of you who have been experiencing any difficulties as it relates to any systems for the bank, they are currently experiencing a delay in their overnight system processing, and they apologize sincerely for the inconvenience caused, and they're working to get that matter resolved as quickly as possible. I was not able to host the program yesterday, and so what I intended to discuss yesterday, I'm going to discuss today. Of course, you know, last week, St. Kitts and Nevis hosted the 27th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival. It ran from Thursday right down to Saturday, and then we had White Sands, which is a separate event, but we usually group all of the events together. It was a very busy weekend here in the Federation, particularly on the island of St. Kitts, and we saw the streets of Bastia buzzing like it was carnival. It was very, very busy. People were moving about. You saw returning nationals. You saw some unfamiliar faces, which are, first time or who are first time visitors. People came from near and far. I know people came from Montserrat. I think Mark Twain went to Montserrat to get some people and took them back yesterday. We also saw hundreds of people coming from Nevis, or let me say thousands of people coming from Nevis. We had people coming from Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda. I saw the Prime Minister, Gaston Brown. He was there with his family. And so it shows that the St. Kitts Music Festival continues to grow significantly and continues to contribute to the local local economy, and I dare say indirectly, in a way, the regional economy or the Caribbean economy. But we saw hundreds and thousands of people coming into our shores. Of course, the RLB International Airport was very busy from as early as the 23rd, Monday the 23rd, because while people come for the St. Kitts Music Festival, they also take the opportunity to experience what St. Kitts and what Nevis has to offer. And so you could say on average people spent between 3 to 5 days here. That is significant. As you know, the St. Kitts Music Festival was introduced back in 1996 thereabout, and it was done to boost the economy around what is known as the slow period in the hospitality and tourism industry. Around this time, we don't normally get visitors from our source markets like the UK, Canada, Europe, the USA, and so on. And so back in the 90s, the government of the day decided that they were going to launch an initiative to boost the economy around that time, to bring much needed economic activity, employment, ensure that things were happening. And here we are for the 27th hosting, or the 27th staging of this festival, which it has grown significantly over the years. Those of you who were there back in the 90s and the early 2000s, my first music festival experience was 2019 thereabout. But for those of you who experienced the St. Kitts Music Festival back in the early 90s and 2000s, I'm going to take your calls for you to share with us what was that experience like, and what would you like to see, added to make the festival even better. Make it even better. But I can tell you, the St. Kitts Music Festival is now an international event, because we have people coming from all across the globe for this event. We had some major international acts. We had Jennifer Hudson, and I saw her performance, and it was electrifying. It was amazing. It was, I don't want to say jaw-dropping, but Jennifer Hudson's voice is flawless. It's absolutely perfect. And she did her thing. Then we heard from Vibes Cartel, Spice, Romain Virgo, and Christopher Martin. His performance in particular was soulful. It was very soulful. And I say that because of the song that he closed with, The Goodness of God, or Goodness of God. And I just saw people waving and moving, and it's like you felt the spirit moving there. It was so touching, whether you were a Christian or not. It was so touching, inspiring, and very, very soulful. But the performances that we received at the St. Kitts Music Festival were absolutely amazing. Where else are you going to go and pay, 65 US, I believe it is now, and get to see Jennifer Hudson, Christopher Martin, Romain Virgo, Ira Starr, on all of these people on one stage over a course of 3 nights? I've seen where these people host concerts in other parts of the world, and the price tag attached in terms of the ticket cost is very, very exorbitant. And so for you to come to St. Kitts and Nevis and get to experience all of this on one stage for less than 100 US, for 175 EC now, is absolutely amazing. And in certain quarters, I believe we take it for granted. We sincerely and we really do take it for granted. But the St. Kitts Music Festival is, I believe, more than just music and entertainment. It has become a movement. and we are heading to 30 years of the 30th staging, rather, of the event, and I expect big things. Just as though the 25th staging was absolutely amazing, I expect the 30th staging to be really good. But without seeing the economic impact assessment, and I'm hoping that the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee or the Ministry of Tourism, would share that with us. But without seeing that, I think a blind man can see that the economic activity was at a high during those last couple of days. During those last couple of days, the economic activity was, I would say, above normal. We're talking about hotels being completely booked out. The St. Kitts Marriott Resort and other hotels across the island. There were people who unfortunately decided to book late, and they had to be, they had to find alternative, different options for them to for them to find accommodation. So you're talking about the hotels being completely booked out. You are talking about the car rental companies. I drove around to some of the car rental companies, and there were no cars. All of these rentals were on the road. Then let's go down to the small entrepreneurs. You're talking about the makeup artists, the barber shop, the people who sell clothing, the people who rent tent, the people who sell food, the people who provide different services in contribution to the St. Kitts Music Festival. You saw where they got the opportunity to make some money during what we know is usually a slow period, the summer. That for me is absolutely amazing, and that for me, I believe, continues to be received very well by our people. And so the spin-off from the music festival is paying off. Let me say that. It is absolutely paying off. When you can get an international artist like, let's say, Jennifer Hudson to come here, there are people who follow these artists. I remember when Burna Boy came in 2023, I believe it was, and there were people who flocked to St. Kitts. When Buju Banton came out of jail in 2019, there were people who flocked to St. Kitts because everybody wanted to see their performance. And yes, these people go to other countries to perform, but not for 50 US or for 60 US or for 65 US. And so the St. Kitts Music Festival has made a name for itself. It's no longer just music and entertainment. It is a movement. It contributes significantly to our economy. And for me, it is only up and up and up and up and up from here. And so kudos to the Minister, the Honorable Marsha Henderson, and the hard-working people at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Tourism, the Music Festival Committee, and all other partners who made the 27th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival truly an unforgettable experience. We're heading into the 28th staging of the festival, and I was checking the social media handles for this for St. Kitts Music Festival, and they are already putting out a survey to get feedback from patrons so that they can look at that feedback in an effort to improve, what we have to offer. Hosting a festival of that magnitude is no easy feat. It is no easy feat. I also want to give a special shout out to law enforcement, who some of us don't really understand the level of work and planning that would go into preparing for mega festivals or mega events, major events like these. The planning in terms of, the traffic roads and ensuring the safety and security, the stop and search at the venue and all of these things. That is something that I believe we take for granted, but it is for our own safety, for your safety, and for mine. It is 16 minutes past. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge, and we'll open the phone lines to hear from you, your thoughts about the St. Kitts Music Festival, and what would you like to see added to make it better. Stay tuned.
The Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Antigua Carnival 2025, July 25th to August 5th. Get ready for music, mass, band, fets, and non-stop vibes. Mark your calendar and don't miss a single show, a single fet, a single unforgettable moment. This is more than Carnival. This is the ultimate experience. Follow the vibes. Instagram at Antigua Festival Official. Facebook at Antigua Carnival. Vibe responsibly. Antigua Carnival 2025. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe, come alive for me.
You've worked hard to build your dream home. Now it's time to protect it with ICWI's A-Plus homeowners policy. From hurricane damage to unexpected losses, we've got you covered with the best homeowners protection in the region. Protect your most valuable asset with coverage for what matters most when it matters the most. ICWI, we know insurance. You know you're protected. ICWI, serving you is all we do. Click, call, or visit ICWI today. Visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road. Call 465-8753 or ICWI.com.
You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. The phone lines are open. Call us at 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. We are at the start of a new month. I just realized that the start of a new month. We're heading into the heart of the summer. And we have officially completed 1 month of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. And we have quite a few months to go. We're out of the St. Kitts Music Festival. We're heading into the Nevis Mango Festival. And I'm encouraging all of you here on the island of St. Kitts and wherever you are to jump in your vehicles, jump on the boat, whatever you want to do, and join us in Nevis for the 11th staging of the Nevis Mango Festival, which continues to grow in leaps and bounds. It continues to be a major event on the calendar there on the island of Nevis, and it is doing what the St. Kitts Music Festival has been doing over the last 27 years, where it is boosting the local economy around the time when it is traditionally the slow period. For the 10th anniversary of the Nevis Mango Festival, there were hundreds or thousands of people who flocked to Nevis for that festival, because we're seeing where international celebrities and chefs come to Nevis to participate and to experience the Nevis Mango Festival for itself. Nevis has, and forgive me, I am not remembering the number, but Nevis has hundreds of different varieties of mango, and so the idea to introduce a mango festival is absolutely amazing. Literally all of the dishes are made from mango. I recall last year I had mango bread, and it's not a piece of mango cut off in a slice of bread. It is literally mango bread. The bread was flavored mango, so it seemed that they used mango flour, and then so you had the mango bread, and they also pasted with mango jam. Everything was mango, and so we have that happening from July 4th to 6th. And then, of course, we take a little break, and we head into the 51st edition of the Caribbean's greatest summertime culturama. And so this summer, like previous summers, is expected to be really busy. Music festival, mango festival, culturama. We take a little break and then we celebrate our independence. But I'm encouraging you to come on over to Nevis. You know, we came to Sinkers. Y'all come Nevis now and experience what we have to offer there on the island of Nevis. But the phone lines are open. We want to hear from you, your thoughts about the St. Kitts Music Festival, and we'll take our first call for the morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Yes, caller.
When you all going to get the line, the 1718?
Caller, I'm not hearing you clearly. You're breaking up a bit. Hello?
Okay, I'll call back.
Yes. Call us back. You're not coming through as clear as I would like. I'm not hearing you clearly at all. So kindly call us back at 465-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, we are on the topic of the St. Kitts Music Festival, which recently wrapped up, and I think it was truly amazing. I think when we had Buja that year, everybody was saying, boy, that was the best music festival. Then when we had Burna Boy, the best music festival. Now we have Vibes Cartel, the best music festival. So, and they're right. It keeps getting better and better and better and better. And for me, I just absolutely love to see that our small business owners and large business owners alike, can make an extra dollar, and in turn, that can trickle down to the small man, to the everyday workers and employees, the hotels, the restaurants, and all of these different things, the tour guides, the taxi operators, the Ubers, they made a little extra money around this time. The Seabridge, I need to see if I could get a hold of those figures, but I'm willing to bet we had more than 500 cars that moved between St. Kitts and Nevis. And so you're looking at the cost in terms of what was injected into the local economy, to move those vehicles between both islands. But all in all, it was a really good festival, and it continues to grow significantly, and it is only up and up from there. But I want to talk about something quickly that has troubled me, or let me say it is concerning. It is concerning, and it has to do with the same St. Kitts Music Festival. I was at an establishment earlier today, and while there, people were also remarking on the St. Kitts Music Festival. We're talking about the festival. I said, man, it was good. People went out, had a good time, and so on. And then I heard a gentleman say, imagine one man got $4 million. I didn't participate in the conversation. I just listened. And I said, boy, we as a people, we have to do better. We really have to do better. Because, it has now become the norm where we jump into the business of we just share things, or we just say things without verifying it for ourselves, and trying to get a full understanding of it. But it also begs the question of, where has this suddenly come from? Why are we so interested now in finding out how much an artist was paid? Did we ask how much the previous artists were paid over the years? And some may want to categorize it as transparency and accountability and so on. Okay, fine. But I genuinely want to know, where has this come from? All of a sudden we want to know But how much John Doe was paid to perform at the festival? You know, so we are now going to sit down and analyze. Well, he got $10, and I think $10 was too much. He got $10,000, and I think that $10,000 was too much, and that could have gone anywhere. No, I am not a expert in economics and so on. So I cannot, from a data and statistical standpoint, argue what GQ might be paid to perform at the St. Kitts Music Festival. What I can argue is what I've seen. And I see and I know that you had makeup artists clocking in $7,000 in 3 days. I know you had rental companies who ain't rent a thing since January. But in June alone, they were able to pay their staff a bonus. I know of hotels that, things started looking a little bad for them after April. So the month of April and May, significantly slow. Early parts of June, slow. But in the last 3 days, the service charge was $4, $5, $6, $7, $8. And if you've worked in the tourism industry, service charge being $8 is a lot of money. That's what I know. So I'm seeing where the St. Kitts Music Festival, it is benefiting all of us, whether it be directly or indirectly. And so I'm saying all of that to say, where has this suddenly come from, where we now want to know how much that is being paid and how much this is being paid? I'm trying to understand. So let's come back to the phone lines and we'll take the call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing well, thank you. And you?
You're giving God thanks for being alive to see July. You saw half of the year pass, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And tons of people pass away. Now, the ideas you had, try opening for discussion, they're very controversial. We wonder about the moral status of our country. Bourgeois, JQ, all kind. Then we say we have what? Community-based crime fighting. What example is that to the young men who decide that it's crime they want? I mean, really, what kind of message are we sending? That is why on Carnival Day, the women are naked, and we don't have any problem with it. And then we say we are in community-based. Well, what part does the community play in choosing it? Jack was accused of killing somebody, He was not declared innocent and not guilty. Are you aware of that?
Go ahead, call and make your contribution. I am very much tuned to what is happening.
The thing is that they said one of the jurors was something, but he was not declared. They're saying he has had so many past trial or retrial. I mean, what do you expect? Maybe all those in prison must be planning what can they do to get that kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to be a bad man in prison now, when prison now sell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And we are hypocritical.
Are you just using Jackie as an example, or?
We're showing the example.
But
we go on the way and we complain. How them was going on. We watch this sexual.
He performed this year?
In the road before they take off the clothes,
Mm-hmm.
And we congratulate the costume designers who have degraded our women. Women are like dogs. You bend over, you bend cross. They take off your clothes, and everybody mouth shut. And then we wonder, the girls them this and the girls them that. Where is the example in this country? Where is the example?
So you're saying this is something that has been happening As of recent?
Yes. And now you're not old like me, but you're old enough to now remember. When people were appalled at women who had on shorts, were bending over and all kind of, now they don't have anything. And we seem to be looking for people who attract crowd but have no morality. So what are we talking about? So let's get to the pay. We may say that on the market for these singers, because the more thing you are, the higher you pay. Yet our performers often have to wait until sometime nearly a whole year to get the 2 little 2 pence.
Says who? Where you get that from?
Huh?
Where you get that information from?
That's what?
That they have to wait a whole year to get paid.
Our performers pay before they go on the stage?
I'm asking you the question. No. You just said that they have to wait a whole year. Right? So I'm asking you now, where did you get that information from?
When our performers, our local performers,
you're not answering my question. You're telling me, because you said it like you know it for a fact, that our performers have to wait at least a year to get paid. So I'm trying to engage you by asking you, where did you get that information from?
On the radio.
Sorry?
Some of them complain on different radio stations that they have to be paid.
Who they are?
I am asking you because you're on the inside now, so answer me.
Well, who they are? Tell us. Let's have a conversation. Who they are?
The question I'm asking are our local performers on the show. Are they paid before they go on stage?
I am not even going to try to answer you because you refuse to answer you refuse to answer the questions that I asked first. So I don't think the conversation can go any further.
I got that one, right?
I can't think, Carla, I don't think the conversation could go any further because you have refused to answer my question, so I can't answer yours.
All right, ask me the question again, I'm not afraid. Ask them again. And I'm listening, you know. I don't
so
know.
I'm asking you, where did you get the information from where you say artists, local acts, have to wait at least a year to be paid from the festival?
USA, what will USA was?
Sorry?
According to, let me give you another radio station. According to what was said, I think by one of the people who are recruited from overseas, before they hit the stage, they get the balance. When they're signed, some of them get half. Isn't that so?
You have not answered my question.
Listen to me.
Which people are you referring to?
I am not easily deterred, you know. And when they think they get the rest, it is a known fact. If it is not so, then I must compliment them. Ask Univisions how much they got. They could sing.
No.
They can sing. They can. Our people can perform.
No, Carla, you said.
What are they getting? How much are they getting?
You came and you said that you know that artists have to wait a year to be paid. I know you're deflecting.
So
I'm asking. Okay. All right. Good. Because you can't verify it.
You find out for me. I can't call you back. Find out for me when your Univision counterparts were paid and how much.
All right.
But, I mean, in terms of example, what are we doing? You come like all the jailmen, them practice your music in the because we don't hire you.
But I'll say this, though, and I said it earlier. We need to stop it, eh? We need to stop being the business of just saying things because we think it is the fact. Verify first, and I expected better. Verify first before you come and speak so convincingly, because people are going to listen and people are going to take that information and run with it. Because right now we're hearing that one man was paid $4 million, and we have not verified that.
I don't know, so I can answer that. All I am saying,
okay,
compared to what they say is alleged that these people get. Compared to our people who got to put in the same amount of effort, who have to buy their own clothes and all of that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. You taught for a number of years, right? And I know that you're a trained teacher, and you also studied at UWI in Barbados. You study economics, right? So you are trained. So you're a trained teacher. And let's say I go into the school tomorrow and I start to teach. I'm not a trained teacher. Are you saying that you should get $3,000 and I should get $3,000?
No, you ain't trained. Well, let me tell you.
All right, caller. All right. Because you have more experience.
$110.
You have more experience than me. And so because you have more experience and more exposure, you're going to get more money.
I show you ain't getting paid like Cassie them.
Lord of mercy. You see where you're going now?
Him, and Ronnie Rascal him.
All right.
Well, you better go in the upstairs and say, look, I bring in this show, I bring in people to the station.
I like you, you know. I like you bad.
You got to you see, my grandfather and my grandmother from Nevis. And the few man them, I'll hear some story about them. I don't know them, but them. They talk their mind.
My family is from Rollins, so I think we're related. All right.
Carry up your pay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Sylvain.
Ronnie.
I told you already we already have you on the palace. What? We already have you on the palace.
Again. Why are you supposed to go up? Some of them have died since Jesus born. Can't even get an NHC house.
I like you. I really do, Mr. Dre.
No,
you're the best.
I'm about to represent people, you understand?
But you have to represent with facts, though. You got to get your facts straight, though. It's good to get your facts straight. But thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It's 11:37 and we are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. So, yeah, we got to verify things before we share them. We just can't say, well, I know you, so you go, you know? And I'm asking, where is this thing suddenly coming from of trying to find out how much an artist was paid? We have to understand, in the music and entertainment industry, there are contractual agreements. And so the organizers cannot be in the business of, well, Ronnie Rascal was paid $10,000. No. Because you're destroying professional relationships. You're destroying contractual agreements, which would in turn cost the country more than what you have alleged. Because if I decide to go to Anguilla to sing with the Calypsonians there, and I submit my invoice, and then I hear the Minister of Culture saying, well, we paid Devonne Cornelius $10,000. He get another suit. And they would be forced to pay more than the $10,000. And so when you're talking about the music and entertainment industry, there are certain things that should not be made public, because quite frankly, some of it is just not our business.
Let me jump in there.
Go ahead.
Not only the entertainment system, but you cannot do that with any business.
Any business at all.
I don't know why people feel that they're supposed to know what anybody makes. It has nothing to do with you in the first instance. But not only that, the contract safeguards that, because wherever you travel or whoever you work for, there are different reasons for your financial agreements.
Yes.
Okay. One of the things I can safely tell Sylvain is that the financial contract goes across the board, whether you're local or you're foreign. Okay. So I don't think she have ever heard any of the artists from St. Kitts, I hate to use the word local, complain that they got paid. She's mixing that up with other things.
Right.
I would say things. Okay.
Right.
So and I think that is one of the reasons why she made that accusation about your Cost the Island counterparts, right? But for music festival, the monetary contracts are across the board.
Yes.
Whether you are from St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, all around the world. Okay? And so I've never heard anybody say anything of that sort.
I've never heard anybody mention that.
I think it's a good thing that it has sustained this far. It has it's one of the highest paid event, and so far so good.
Highest paid event with the lowest cost to enter.
That's right. From around the world. Like,
yes.
But I'm speaking about from a local standpoint. The artists that goes on the music festival, it's the highest paid event for them. Yeah,
absolutely.
And so I want them to embrace it, because people are raising the standards. So let's embrace it, not when it's just you people alone running it. Because for some reason, when people running it, it's the greatest thing.
Oh yeah.
And when it's not, all of a sudden it falls apart.
Oh yeah. And we need to do away with that, man.
Fed up with that.
Yeah.
This is a national thing for all of us. as skittishn's and division. When your friend won in the party, enjoy the party. Eat the cake, drink the marby, have fun.
That's the
praise
music.
it and push it.
Yeah.
If your friend ain't in the party, eat the cake, drink the marby, have fun and push it. It's our thing. All right? So
I definitely agree with you there, Ronnie, and I think we need to also be sincere in our questions and what we say and so on. And you're so right in the St. Kitts Music Festival being all of us. It belongs to all of us. Just like Carnival, Culturam, and the other events. It belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to a certain group of people. And you made the point about contractual agreements, not just the music and entertainment industry. I mean, a job.
Everything?
Every single thing. And so I don't know why we think it is okay for us to say, well, show us the invoice or the contracts for every single artist that you bring here. For what?
But let's look at what happened in Trinidad. Because of that incident, the promoter is now being investigated as to where he got that level of money to do this promotion. Now, if this was not blown up like that, the contract would have gone through whatever inland revenue situation he had to work out. He would have worked that out. But now it becomes, US dollars are not flourishing in Trinidad. And so it's like, where? Which pillar you had this under? You understand? So these things carry a lot of weight.
They do.
So when you're sitting at home and say, well, John get $3 and Son get $1, it's none of your business. It's a business contract. Yeah.
Very much so.
Just thank God that the person is getting something, man, in this day and age.
I tell you, and as I said earlier, around this time when it's really slow for a lot of businesses. And so I don't know how I can argue with an entrepreneur who got an extra $10,000 this month and tell him, well, we ain't gonna host the festival because we don't think it should be hosted because they want to tell us how much X, Y, and Z get paid. Like, come on, they're bigger fish to fry.
It just makes no sense. But you know what I saw happen though? A lot of the folks who was ranting and raving about the said amount as they believe, right? Was like blah 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 blah. He came here, he put off a massive show. He's now promoting St. Kitts since he left.
Yes,
St. Kitts, he
and continues to
promoting St. Kitts. Because of him, people came from all over the world. The biggest audience, biggest crowd ever, biggest sold out, everything. And now all of a sudden they become muted.
As a matter of fact,
which is what they should have done in the start. Just mute yourself.
To add to what you're saying, right? There were some social media influencers, particularly on TikTok, who were saying, so guys, Vibes Cartel is going to be in St. Kitts this weekend, and we're not sure if St. Kitts would be able to handle him.
Yeah.
They're now coming back and they're taking back what they have said.
Yes.
And so now St. Kitts is getting the recognition. People are now, boy, I want to go St. Kitts next year for music festival, because if they could handle Vibes Cartel, and St. Kitts is significantly smaller than Trinidad,
So to all the influencers and to all of the folks who didn't make it, we're bringing him back next year. We want to put boots on the ground. That's all that matters, man. Regardless of who you are and where you are and what's your belief and who you're following, let's put boots on the ground together.
I tell you. It is 11:45. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555. Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
The Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Antigua Carnival 2025, July 25th to August 5th. Get ready for music, mass, band, vets, and non-stop vibes. Mark your calendar and don't Don't miss a single show, a single fete, a single unforgettable moment. This is more than Carnival. This is the ultimate experience. Follow the vibes. Instagram at Antigua Festival Official. Facebook at Antigua Carnival. Vibe responsibly. Antigua Carnival 2025. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe, it's a vibe, come alive for me.
You've worked hard to build your dream home. Now it's time to protect it with ICWI's A-Plus homeowners policy. From hurricane damage to unexpected losses, we've got you covered with the best homeowners protection in the region. Protect your most valuable asset with coverage for what matters most when it matters the most. ICWI, we know insurance. You know you're protected. ICWI, serving you is all we do. Click, call, or visit ICWI today. Visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road. Call 465-8753 or ICWI.com.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to the Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We have some callers on the line. Okay, we lost that one. But the phone lines are open, 465-1977 or 1903-662-8674. It is... Ever caller? Okay. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning and good morning to Ronnie. Bless up. Bless up, Devon. Big up St. Kitts Nevis. Music festival sell off.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Big up my daughter that come from station to the holiday station. Ronnie, bless up.
Okay. Okay, Paula.
To go cartel, but I watch it on my phone.
All right. Let's hit this other call. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, yes. Let me first send greetings down to Anguilla. The other day, a team was here from Anguilla advertising the festival. You heard him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the young lady is my niece. When I heard people say that song like Delma,
oh, that's
my
wonderful.
brother's daughter, so big up Anguilla. To all my twin nieces, twin sisters.
So,
Auntie Sylvania.
So Sylvania, you see your niece bigging up the music festival. So big it up too.
Yeah, man.
All I say, give our people some more.
Hey, once you say that, I agree with you. Give them some more. I like that. I'm good. I'm good with that. Once you say give them some more, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to give an Rascal man every year. Now we're getting older now, and it's pushing.
No, I ain't getting old, Sylvie. Don't say that.
Pushing it. It's supposed to get more than medal. Anyway, look, give him $1 million.
Oh Lord, Sylvie, girl, I must love you.
Watch me. I'm lobbying for you, you know.
And you know I'm gonna swing something by you. You know me.
A lot of what we say makes sense if our government was not fronting the thing.
Oh.
Because our own money, I don't want to say all of it, because our government is fronting these bills, we have every right to know. You think about contract. It is not just the festival money, the festival ain't got no money.
Come on, Sylvie.
It is the government, the people in St. Kitts and Nevis money that is funding the thing. So we have every right to know.
No, you can't say that, Sylvine.
I don't think about contract.
You work for the government. Sylvine, you work for the government for many years. The government were paying you. Tell me how much they were getting a month time.
They say what?
Tell me how much you was getting a month time.
How much are you getting now?
I need to know because it's the government were paying you. You just said that, eh? So I'm bringing it back to you now.
Mm-hmm. There's your money, you know.
I say you just told her that is our money is paying these artists. Government money. You worked for the government all your life.
I go on there. I hope Nevis Culturama is being supported by
Lad, you're gone.
some of the
Gone Nevis. Okay.
Sylvie, we know you want to say something about culture, you know, but you're beating on the bush.
I tell you, my father, mother from Nevis, and my mother, father from Nevis. You don't understand?
Okay.
Everything in Nevis concern me.
Okay, then.
Would you?
So, tell them, say, please to go and give Mark Blantley and Miss Dr. Daniel the fair share so that Nevis could bring in the millions performing for the show.
All right.
Okay. All right, Ms. Henry, thank you so much for your contribution. It is 11:52. Phone lines are open 465-1977 or 1903 662-8674. We have a caller. Good morning, you're on the air.
Greetings.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Greetings.
Yes, caller, you're on the ear. On the
Are you
ear.
hearing me clearly?
Yes.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, caller, I am hearing you clearly.
Okay, I'm just hearing you. Okay, concerning the payments of artists, you know, artists is creative people, you know, and in our book, you know, we can't afford to pay for creativity, you know. So, the rumor was going on about even Cartel with this $4 million business. I doubt that is true. And even if it is true, I mean, what is $4 million to get a creator? You know, I mean, you can't count this thing in dollars and cents with people with the creativity, you know. Creativity priceless, you know. Yeah. So if we hear you and April pick me and make a song so that these blah blah thing put stop, and it really put stop. It not for go on, and a whole heap of it is politics, you know. We carry this politics in everything, and it's sad, you know. And give thanks for highlighting it, and give thanks for the positive reasoning on the money thing when it comes to artists. Yeah.
Yeah, respect, man. Nice, man. Respect.
All right, caller, thank you so much for that. It's 11:53. We'll take just a few more calls before we stop for the midday news. You have a caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning.
Wait, caller, could you step away from the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Step away from the radio.
Ronnie.
Yes, caller, go ahead. He's listening.
Yeah, you surprised a man like you who grew up with old school music. I hear you talking about this Vice Cartel. Because I personally, if I had the power, or if I was a prime minister, Vice Cartel, like kind of people sing dance, I will never be here. No, because they're leading the youth them astray. And we know that too, as adults. It's a disgrace having those kind of people coming here who sing rubbish. And I surprise a man like you, as an elder. I mean, you're supposed to be close 6 years or so, telling me like it was a show. Man,
so
like you are saying you like that kind of thing to that, and I realize you just let them too on the radio.
You didn't hear me say anything about liking anything like that. We was talking about something different, sir. We're talking about contracts and what the value of the person coming here was all about. I wasn't talking about you. Hello. So I understand what you're talking about, and that's your opinion. That's your opinion. Again, like I said, don't judge me. Don't put your opinion with my opinion. Don't do that. We was not talking about that.
That means Jimmy Cliff them. Suppose Jimmy Cliff them decide they want like $1 million for a show. I don't want to pay them neither. Who sing sense? These educated people.
Who are you? Because I'm not in charge and paying anybody.
I really don't understand. We don't. I don't think I understand.
Jamaica who sing rubbish, man. That's what we're reaching to.
So,
no, man, I can't back up that man.
Nobody's backing up anything that you're speaking about.
Man saying he's an intelligent man. When him again, Eli X talking like that. I'm talking. What he's saying? My man worth about $4 million.
You're going wrong again.
Intelligent man talking like that. These people sing rubbish, man. Come on, man. It's a disgrace.
Like we said, that's your opinion.
Man,
Everybody has their opinion,
man.
but don't judge somebody else and don't put anything on anybody else. You never hear me tell you anything about liking anybody. I was talking about the monetary fund.
But you just play them sometime on the radio, you know.
Well, my friend, I am a supplier. I play what you want. I played what you wanted in the 60s.
But big man like you shouldn't be playing them kind of music.
Hello, I'm a supplier. Okay? You know what a supplier do? He supplies you. A supplier supplies you with what you need. If you hire me to play for your party, I'll play you the Jimmy Cliff them all night if you want.
But you don't play the music.
You see, there you're gonna judge me again. Stop judging people, sir. Stop judging people. You don't know nothing about me, but why to play. You understand? So, like I said, I'm a supplier. Whatever you want.
You want more jazzy than the radio station and 3 o'clock.
Okay, great. And they are here.
And probably we need those kind of people to be on the radio station.
And they are here. So when they're on, you enjoy yourself.
All right, caller. We running out of time. It's 11:58, and so we're gonna have to wrap it up there. With the caller. Good conversation. Perhaps it is one that may need to continue, but I don't want to be in the back and forth about what we should know, what we shouldn't know. I'm seeing this argument about it's a public event, so we need to know how much everybody is paid. No, you don't. And I understand that it is the opinion of some, and I respect your opinion, but I firmly disagree. I do not want to be in the business of knowing how much Tom, Dick, and Harry get for performing at the St. Kitts Music Festival. It is a contractual agreement, and that is what it is. It's just like your job. It's like you're telling me that if you work for the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, if you're a teacher or whatever it is, that I should know how much you're getting paid, because you're being paid by public funds. Your money, your salary is coming from the treasury. And so if it is that we would want to know how much X, Y, and Z and Tom, Dick, and Harry are being paid to perform at the St. Kitts Music Festival, then you are also saying that every single person in St. Kitts and Nevis have a right to know how much you are getting in your salary from the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because as far as I know, both checks or direct deposits are coming from the coffers of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. We need to stop the hypocrisy. You've been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Until next time, you guys, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Take it easy on the road. You guys have a good one. See you tomorrow. Same time, same station. Stay with us.